function is going to execute. For that, it will allocate some memory B. For B, it will allocate some memory like 4 bytes it will allocate. Immediately, once the main function execution is completed, this memory, whatever it is allocated for B, it will be get erased. There will not be any memory for the global parameter. Once the once the main function is executed. Getting it, guys? Getting it? So in the C language, function by function, we will be executing the function. Okay. In the real time, so the function 1 will execute first, then the function 1 might be calling function 2. So like something like that, it will be going. Function 3 like that, it will be going. So inside function 1, if it is having any local parameter, once function 1 execution is finished, then the local parameter, whatever the memory it might have allocated, that will be get erased. That memory location no more will be there for that particular parameter. If it is a static, even the functionality, the main function is execution is completed, still there will be a memory for that one. For A, there will be a memory. If it is a file scope or function scope, if it is a file scope means the other functions also could able to access that memory. If it is a function scope, within that function only you could able to access that A. If it is a static, this A will be there for whole time the program execution. Until unless you are switching off the microcontroller, till that time the value of A will be there in that particular memory location. Guys, everyone is fine? Or am I making it very confused?
Fine.
Any doubts? Guys, is it fine or any doubts?
Fine, bro.
Pritam, Satyagopal, Bhavya.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
Santosh.
Okay. Fine.
No doubt.
Fine.
Sai, Raviteja. How is it, guys? Are you able to follow me? Guys,
Yeah,
if you are
okay,
not
okay.
understanding this concept, I cannot go ahead, okay? Everything will depend on memory from now onwards. What is this here? What it is doing here? Fine. Fine, right? Shall I move ahead?
Sure.
Yeah, go ahead.
So this is how for static and the local parameters will be allocated. And next is the extern. Now, next is the extern one. So let me create one header file. This is the header file. Yeah, where is this header file here? Yeah, somewhere here only it will come, right? The header file. .h something it will come. It's fine, yeah. Let me create one file. That's fine for me. What is this? H2.h. Okay. So I have created one .h file. Okay. So if it is a extern, can anyone tell me what does that mean, extern? Guys from CSG background.
Outside the program.
RNC. Sorry, can you please
The
repeat?
global variable.
Outside the program.
Outside the program, what it will do in the outside the program, yeah?
Global variable, right? Global parameter.
Global parameter, that's fine for me. What does that mean, the outside of the program? Who is that? Can tell me how can it will happen outside the program?
We have
Program
to
means
include what, right?
program means one entire project, okay? Like we cite this LROS Ford features.c is the one .c file. So as I said, like this, there are 3000 files. If you are combining all of those 3000 files, it will become one program. Okay. For your readability and for your modularity, you have divided the entire code into the different files. So one feature itself, if it is going to take 40,000 lines, there are like 60 or 70 features. If you are combining all of that features, it will be going almost like 20 lakhs lines of code. If 20 lakhs lines of code in that one particular file, it will become very difficult to manage that file itself. So for now, we are struggling to manage this 40 lines of code itself. So in some way, if you are keeping 20 lakhs lines of code, how much difficult it will happen, you don't know. Guys, what you know, like in the real time, for making software for one aeroplane, can anyone expect how many lines of code it is required?
Minimum 1 lakh, 1 lakh lines.
1 lakh lines is fine for aeroplane. But can you expect how many lines of code is required if you want to have one high-end car?
10,000.
You are seeing here itself 40,000 lines of code, just one feature, something like that. There are 3,000 files of in that particular project. You needed nearly 20 million lines of code. 20 into 10 lakhs. This number of lines of code is needed for one high-end BMW car, I can say. You know how critical the writing code to the car? Writing a code to the airplane is very easy. Why? Because it will go on to the sky. It will be just keep on traversing it, and it will be keep on just trying to find out the radar's signals and all those things. But the car is the real scenario where it will be riding on the road, where you need to see the different scenarios. The pedestrians will be coming, the vehicles will be moving. If it is having high-end features like autonomous emergency braking, ACC, lane keeping assistance, blind spot detection, if these kind of features are there, means it's gone case, like the airbag systems. All these things should be considered. So it will go like hell lot of number of lines. So it's not that much easy to handle the coding in the car. Okay. This one particular code is for one ECU. What I'm showing, ADAS ECU is the one. For ADAS ECU itself, we are having 20 lakhs lines of code. So same this kind of issues 100 will be there in the one particular car. You can say how much lines of code the car will be having.
So how much time it is taken to write all this code?
It's a keep on going at this particular project we have started somewhere in the 2017. It will go till 2027. So feature by feature we will be developing that cell. It's never ending topic. Okay.
And what is the team size?
A team size, it depends. In our team we were having, see, for software development we are the 20 members. For developing the 5 or 6 features, only software. For this 20 members will be there from the system, 20 members will be there from, not 20 members, 200 members management people will be there, and nearly 250 or 350 testers will be there. Only for this 20 members 350 testers will be there, and there will be some nearly 200 or 300 manufacturing people will be there around. For only for our supporting, nearly 1000 people will be working. Only for developing these 20 people to manage all these things, 1000 people will be there for them. only for 5 or 6 features. So like that, this ADAS issue is having 64 features, where nearly 10 to 15 companies were working for that one particular ECU. Aptiv is the main who is handling everything, and Valio was supporting it, and Infineon microcontrollers, those guys were supporting, and we don't know how many team members they are having. Valio, we don't know how many team members they are having, and there is a one team from the Mobileye, there is one team from the Texas Instrument, there is a couple of team from the Ford, there is a team from the GM. All we will be coordinately working for this one particular issue. Not only these members, okay. So Value, we don't know again for with whom they are supporting it. And this guy, what is this? Viener is part of this team. L&T is part of this team. Again, L&T is given to some third-party company. It's never-ending topic, okay. This is not small projects. It will be keep on going on, but our role will be very small in that. It will take all of, see, that's what I was telling from starting of my class, okay. So even 3 years or 1 year, 1 to 3 years guy is equal to 10 to 15 years experience guy in the embedded. It's not mandated to everyone to know everything. This, whatever I know, it's not mandatory to know by my manager also. Whatever he knows, it's not mandatory to learn all those things by myself. That's the reason 1 to 3 years of guys will be taken as a freshers only in the automotive. It will take minimum 3 years for you to get what is the automotive. That's the reason I'm keep on stressing you guys. Just try to learn at least the basic things, so that they will consider all of you as just anyhow they will consider as a freshers only. So easily you guys can able to get into the teams. Even if you are starting the project, it will take at least 6 months to get into the team, like to know what they are trying to do it. So try to leverage your timings and try to learn all these basic concepts so that you can easily get in it. Once you are getting into this particular automotive domain, then your future will be like anything. You will get very good salaries. There will not be any work pressures. If you are learning all these concepts once, then your life is settled. If you are learning the C language once, that's enough for your entire life. You no need to learn once again the C language. Why? Because in the entire automotive, we will be keep on using the C language. In very few cases, we will be going ahead with the C++ and Python. If you are telling that you are not knowing about C++ and Python also, no one will ask why you don't know about them. But if you are not knowing, if you are saying that I don't know C language, then everyone will wonder how are you entered into the automotive without knowing the C language. So that's the reason you must be knowing also the microcontrollers and what is the embedded systems and all those things. That's why we will be seeing all of them. Fine. Just try to focus yourself, okay? So now where are we? We were there at the extern. So extern is the keyword, okay? If you are making any of the parameter, int, can anyone tell me the parameter name here? Int light is the parameter. So this light is a global parameter. You can use inside the .c, inside the lros.c, or inside the batch.c, everywhere, wherever you want to use, you can use it. Let me create one more new file. What is this? Embedded batch 2. What was the other file name? Batch 2 is there, right? Embedded batch 3.c file. If I'm making it, you can use inside this also. Guys, give me 10 to 15 minutes. We will finish it, okay? Sorry, I thought of giving break in between, but somehow I forgot it. Int length light, if we are making extern, which means that if you want to use this is a global parameter, okay? this light information you wanted to access inside the batch 2 and inside the batch 3 also. Then what you need to do? Can anyone tell me quickly? So
It will get, it will
I
accept.
have made it as a extern in the batch 2. Okay. So first I need to include that file.
Import the file.
Batch 2.h. Correct? Correct? So if I am including the batch 2.h, I could able to access this light, okay? But before accessing that light, I need to make as a, this is just declaration, okay? I'm telling light is a global parameter, that's all. If you are telling light is a global parameter, then it will not allocate memory for it. Whenever you are using it, that time only it will allocate memory for it. Now light is an external parameter, which is of type integer. It will be going to store in the global memory. So if you want to use the light here, still you can use it, light equal to 20. In the batch 2 also you can use it, but before using batch 2.c, inside batch 2.c, you need to include what? Hash include batch 2.h you need to do. Then only the parameter light you can get it. As parameter names, it's up to me, whatever I wanted I can use it. So that's the reason I have just used a light. I was seeing the here somewhere the light aside, that's the reason I have just used a light. So light is a global parameter. In the different .c files, if you want to use them, you can go ahead as extern. In batch 2, I just made it as extern. This light parameter I am using in the .c. So if I'm making it as a light equal to light light equal to 30, then it will update in the same memory location. So for this light, it is there only one particular memory location. Guys, getting it?
Yeah, getting.
So in the similar, see now if I'm making it as extern if I'm making light, it will allocate 4 bytes here in somewhere in the global memory. So in these 4 bytes only, if batch 3 is running, the value it was 30, right? First it was for 30 only. Again in batch 2 you are making it as a 20. So in the for light only one memory location is there, the 20 is going to update it. Similar way, let me make it now. Similar way, if I am having batch 3.c file, it is having function 4 and function 5 having light, okay? So if you are having this kind of, okay, here also A is there, batch 2 also A is there, batch 2 is having B, batch 3 also having B, but these are the local to this particular batch 3 itself. Getting it? In batch 3, if I'm updating 20, it is a 50, or let me make it 70. A is 70, 50 is 500, C is 300. It will not affect the batch 2 parameters. Why? Because they are meant for only particular file only. They will be having the accessibility or scope within this file. Even if you are creating A inside batch 3, for this A, there will be a separate memory location will be get created. Getting it? So batch 2.c is having some memory. Batch 3.c is having some other memory location. So inside it, for A, again it will create some memory. For B, it will create some memory. For C, it will create some memory. Batch 3, again it is having A, for them it will create memory. For B, it will create some memory. C, it will create some memory. But you saw the light, right? Parameter light. It will be get created in the one global memory. Global memory. both batch2.c will be accessing that light information from here, or they will update that information here. Batch3.c also that light information will update into this particular memory location. Getting it? So this A is the static. It's up to you whether this is a function scope or file scope. However you are using it, that's up to you. But that will be used within this particular file only. If you are updating A value to 10, it will not affect the value, the memory location which it is allocated in the B.C. Sorry, 3.c. It might be having some other value. The value of A is a 500, right? No, 70. Value of A in the batch 3.c is a 70. Value of B is a 500. Value of C is the 300. Getting it? Guys, any doubts are making? Is it all of you are able to understand it?
Yeah, fine.
So that is how the external parameters will be get used. Okay. So if you want to access any of the parameter, like this parameter we wanted to use in the .c of batch 2, batch 3.c, and I wanted to use it in the lros features.c also. That case, you can go ahead with the external parameter. You include batch2.h file in the wherever you wanted to use it, then it will become the global memory. I will be telling what is that global memory, what is that local memory, and all those things again in the high level. Now we have one more what is this here? Storage class. Which one is that? Register. Can anyone tell me what is that register? Register keyword.
Register already has some values, like from the previous history or something.
No, I will not agree.
Okay.
Any other answers? Any guess? So everyone knows CPU, right?
Yeah.
Inside CPU, if you see our first class, what and all it will be there, ALU will be there. What is this ALU? Arithmetic logic control unit something. To do these operations inside it, it will be having some registers. Okay, so each register will be able to store 1 bit of information. It depends. So if it's a 32-bit CPU, if it is a 32-bit CPU, it will have different registers. Each register could able to store 32 bits of information. This is R1, this is register 2, this is register 3, something like that. It will have. It could able to store 32 bits of information in each one of the register. Okay. Let me explain you in the first memory architecture, then going back to this register. Okay. So guys, did you remember we discussed about RAM and ROM? This is permanent. I think I told that time like we will be going to discuss again it in the C language. This is the time to discuss about them. So this is the detailed memory layout which we are going to discuss it. After this we will discuss about this memory concept again, which is a very important concept in the entire embedded systems. Just listen clearly. So can anyone tell me what is the ROM?
It's a storage.
This is read only, which is a permanent memory. I discussed about that like RAM and ROM of the laptop on memory, our mobile phones and all those things. Try to recollect all those information. RAM is a local parameter, local way, not local, temporary data.
Like mobile data.
Temporary data. So this RAM, in case of C language or embedded systems, we will be in the ROM, we will be flashing the code. Okay, whatever code we will be writing it, like this code is there, right? This entire code. After writing it, I will compile it. It will convert into zeros and ones. Then that zeros and ones I will be flashing into the ROM. Why? Because this should be permanent for me. Every time whenever you are starting the car, this particular code should be running it. So in the RAM, what will happen? If the car is running, so the temporary data, whichever is there, it has to store into the RAM. Okay. This RAM, again, we will be dividing into the particular memory sections. Okay. One is stack segment. Okay. The other one is like data segment. Inside RAM only, we are giving the naming convention for that particular memory locations. Okay. Next is the BSS segment. Next is the code or text segment. We call it as text segment. Yeah, I'm not sure whether I will not be seeing this PPT. I'm sorry, guys. Anyhow, it will be there the same information. I could not able to go through entire PPT. You guys can go through if anyone is having any doubts. Okay. It might be having the different examples, but the concept is same. We will see this one. Okay. This one. The table. So the RAM will be having those stack segment, data segment, BSS segment, code or text segment. Okay. So whenever your code is running, so we have started the ECU. I mean, we have started the car, then this particular ECU got started. So inside this, it is having some code to execute it. So that before executing this, whatever the data it will be there in the RAM, it will copy into the code segment. Why? Because RAM is the one who will be handling all the executions. So this is up to the project level how they wanted to handle it. Some guys, they will be fetching the information from RAM and doing the executions, but someone's will be keeping the entire data into the RAM only to it will be easy for processing the CPU. CPU, what it will do? CPU, it will take first instruction. It will be having in the some zeros and ones. Then it will decode it. Decoding in the sense move A comma B, like something in the assembly language, it will convert it, and then it will execute it. Execute in the sense whatever there in the memory location of B, it will move into A. So now A will have the value of B. This is what execution. So to do this entire thing, it will take a lot of time to fetch the information from RAM. ROM is the different memory location. RAM is the different memory location. To fetch the data from here to here, it will take a lot of time. That's the reason it is the program specific where they are going to keep the executable code, whether it is in the RAM or in the ROM. But at least for my knowledge, in my project, we are taking into the RAM. So CPU could able to access all these instructions very easily. Got it? Instruction means what? So int A is there equal to 10. If your B equal to 20 is there. If you are making A equal to B, this is what one instruction. To do this, CPU has to do a lot of things in the background. Don't worry about all of that. Okay, now A equal to B, we converted into the zeros and ones. That is stored into this code segment. Now CPU is fetching instruction one by one. Then it will do the utilization of this memory. Got it? Getting it?
Yeah, getting it.
Fine. Now let me tell you what is exactly happening here. Before that, I wanted to tell something. What was that? It was in my mind. Again, forgot. Just 5 minutes, sir. It is going to finish it. Sorry, yaar. This concept I cannot bring to the next class again. That's the problem. Half of the concept if I am telling today and tomorrow you to tell other things, so it will become difficult. Okay, again I need to start from starting. So this memory locations on the real time we will be segregating. Okay, until see, for example, 1 MB of RAM is there means from 1 to 256 KB stack will be there. From 256 to 512 data segment will be there. 512 to 726 the BSS segment will be there. 726 to 1024 bytes the code segment will be there. This is up to us how to segregate. So we will be having RAM of 1 MB, okay, or 1 MB or 6 MB. How much you wanted for stack, how much you wanted for data, how much you wanted for BSS, how much you wanted for code segment, you can differentiate that. That will be doing at the architectural level. Each and every individual developer will not be doing it. Got it? Now let me tell you. So there is a one function int main. So it is having int a, and it is also having, see, this is 1.c. How can I take here? This is 1.c file, okay. This is 1.c file. It is having static int b it is having, and int a is there, int c equal to 10 is there. Okay. Now with this example, I am going to tell you what kind of how the memory utilization will happen. Okay. So now tell me static int b, whether this is a declared. Before that, let me tell this one. Data segment, BSS segment, and all those things. It's fine. You guys can tell me. Int b is a declared one or initialized one or used one? What is this?
I mean, declared one.
Perfect. This is a declared one. So int a also?
Declared.
Declared one. Int c is defined. Sorry, not defined. Initialized. Initialized, how I am telling? Int c equal to 10, I have the value. Now a equal to c, I am doing it. This is defined. Correct? So as I said earlier, if you are using any of the parameter, it requires the memory, right? And also still I remember I told all of you guys that if you are doing just declared, it will not use any of the memory. It will not use any of memory. Correct? But what will happen, at the initial, once you are starting the ECU, there is a one OS concept, right? Operating system. Operating system will initialize all these kind of parameters with its default values. Default values. If it is a static, the default value, if it is not initialized with any of the values like c equal to 10 or b equal to 20, then it will get initialized with the 0. If it is a local, it will be initialized with the garbage value. Garbage in the sense any of the random value 110, 220, 330, that's up to the compiler or the OS, however it wanted to initialize it. If it is having c equal to 10, then it will hold the c equal to 10 only in the memory location of c. Got it? Guys, are you guys are follow me?
Following.
Yeah.
Now tell me, int b is just declared. In which memory segment it will store? It is having a stack, data, and BSS and code segment. Code segment, anyhow, I already told that it is going to store the code. Now tell me these three options. In which memory location static int b is going to store?
Stack segment.
No, not correct.
Data segment.
No, I cannot agree. This data segment also called initialized data segment. Initialized data segment. This BSS segment also called uninitialized data segment. Now tell me at least. Initialized means what? Int C is the initialized, but this is a local. Int C is what? Local parameter. Correct?
Correct.
So all the locals will be get stored in the stack. Local parameters. So if you are having some other parameter like static int d equal to 100, this is initialized parameter, which is a file scope, right? Static means what? File scope, right? File scope or function scope. If you are declaring the static inside the function, then it will become the function scope. So this particular parameter will be going and sitting into the data segment. It is initialized. This int b is a static parameter. Still it is not initialized. Then it will be going and sitting into the BSS. But before sitting into the BSS, it will be get initialized with 0. Why? Because the default value of static keyword is the 0. Fine. So now if you are having the int c equal to 10, that is going to store and will be get stored into the stack segment. In stack, you will be have some memory location. See, for this int main, whenever it is going to execute it, right? For that int main, there will be some memory in the stack. Here in that particular memory, for a, there will be some memory allocated. Once the program, the main function execution is finished, then this memory will be erased. Got it?
Yeah.
Hey guys, if you are making, I just wanted to finish it. It's too late. I am very sorry. If you are not getting this, okay, again tomorrow I will be telling with the same example. That's fine for me. But try to learn from your side also. Just study, just see in the one of the YouTube video how this memory organization will happen. This is very, very important. I wanted every one of you has to be understood it. Fine, huh?
Yeah, okay, fine. We will look
If you guys are not getting it, just go through once again this video, okay? I know I just explained very fast. In next class also, first half an hour we will be seeing this concept. Fine. So today we have just saw storage classes, what kind of different storage classes, and how they will be utilizing the memory is what we have seen it. So we have the different storage classes like static, auto, extern, and register queue. So the register, in the sense, it will be utilizing one of the register which is there in the CPU. Why it is needed to, why the need of register is what we will be explaining in tomorrow's class. Any doubts? If no other doubts, I am fine. I think I'm good to close for today. I'm very sorry. It was I just planned for 2 hours, but somehow it went. You guys have to respond very fast so that we can move forward. It's taking a lot of time for me to wait for your answers. Be smart enough to give the answer. So tomorrow once again we are going to discuss the memory concept. Please brush up your minds with the memory concepts once again. Tomorrow at least please make it is very interactive. Fine.
Okay.
If no other questions, I think we can stop today. Thanks every one of you. Thank you. Good night. Bye bye.